Hi everyone. So I promised you guys I would talk about Modular Mates today, and even though I would rather be putting my feet up right now in front of the TV, I'm doing it. So how's that for COVID motivation? And how's this for COVID hair? We should take a vote on whether it's time for another COVID haircut or not. Anyway, Modular Mates are like geometry, but they're like easy geometry, so you don't have to worry about if you were good at math or not. So we have 4 shapes, okay? Our shapes are an oval, a super oval. You can see it's super because it's bigger. We have a square, which is sort of the equivalent to 2 ovals. And we have a rectangle, which is equivalent to 2 of the super ovals. So why that's pertinent is because these are all stackable in your cupboards to make beautiful and easy to use displays of the stuff you have, rather than having a million half-empty boxes and having to dig in the back of the closet to find something. The reason they've got the 2 different lengths, the square, the rectangle, and the oval and the super oval, is that we all have different pantry and cupboard sizes. So if you're in, say, an older apartment or house with the smaller pantry shelves or uppers that are pretty small, the squares and the ovals fit really well. If you're one of the lucky ones with those great big pantry shelves, then you're going to be into the rectangles and the super ovals, depending on your product. So that's really great. Now with Tupperware, the seals are what matters. These Modular Mates will actually keep your dry goods fresh for like 2 to 3 years, which is pretty amazing. It's really good right now when people are stocking up on baking things because you can't always get them in the stores anymore. So if you're buying that big 5-pound bag of sugar or 10-pound bag of flour, you want to go over to the really big ones and keep those in, which I'll show you in a minute. Your baking soda, if you're buying 3 or 4 of those, or baking powder, you want to get them in these right away. I always say to people, remember, when you buy baking soda and you put it in your fridge, you put it there because it absorbs odors. So do you really want to put baking soda opened up and in a cardboard box in your baking cupboard where it's going to absorb every odor in your kitchen? And then take a teaspoon out and put it in your beautiful chocolate cake or cookies or something? No, you do not. You want to empty that box into one of these Modular Mates as soon as you get home. Keep it fresh and activated, and don't let it absorb any of your kitchen smells. So basically, those are the shapes. The geometry works this way. Each Modular Mate has a number on the bottom from 1 to 5, okay? So basically, the 1, we can go over here now, is the smallest. This is a 2. Anybody want to guess what this is, Mom?
3.
Yep. After 3 comes?
11. Oh, no. 4.
And?
5.
Right. Now, where the math part comes in, it's really cool. 1 plus 1 equals?
2.
So when you put a 1 on a 1, they're the same height as a 2. So 2 plus 1 equals?
2 plus 1 equals 3.
You got it. So a number 2 and a number 1 is the same height as the 3. You see how this is great for your pantries and that? Because everything can be nice and even. A 1 on a 3 equals a 4, and so on and so on. And as you can see, the Modular Mates have come out in different kinds of colors over the years. Right now, the ones we have available are the black and a sapphire blue, and I don't have one of those out right now, but it's a pretty color as well. Safa, one of our consultants, came up with a really great idea that you could use the different color seals to keep your gluten-free and non-gluten-free items separate without having to think too hard. If all of your gluten-free stuff was in blue sealed containers and your other stuff was in black containers, you would know the instant you opened your pantry or your cupboard which was which. You can buy a pour seal for them. So if you're using them for something like a coconut I have in here, if you want to keep nuts in there, you can pour things out and just do it that way. Some people use them for cereal. We do have cereal keepers as well that are a little bit bigger and hold a box of cereal, but it depends on the shape of your cabinet and what you want to store. So the other cool thing about the Modular Mates, well, there's a lot of cool things. I'll use this bigger one here so you can see. They are kind of opaque. And the reason that they're opaque is so that if they are exposed to sunlight or lots of light, the foods don't degrade as quickly. You rarely see like clear canisters on anybody's counter because light can make a difference to things. But on the front, it is clear, and that is so that you can see what's in that container without having to pull it out. It's also great for grocery shopping because you can look in your pantry before you go and go, oh, I've got tons of coconut, but I need sugar. So there's your shopping list. Mama's amazed by this. And that's basically how you do it. You don't have to pull anything out. And these seals, they're called a square round seal, okay? Because the rectangular and the square containers, it's not a right angle seal because that can never be airtight, but it is a square round, so it is airtight, which is why it can keep foods for so long. Now, here's the really fun part. All of my Tupper friends have these really cool labels on theirs and they look really fancy, but I have the world's worst handwriting ever. And so I found these really cool things, and apparently you can get them at craft stores or you can get them online. I got mine online at various retailers. These ones are chalkboard labels, so they're really cool because you can erase things off of them later. They came with a little chalkboard pen. I got the pre-labeled ones or the pre-written ones for the spices. And then I got sheets and sheets of really cool ones. Don't I look clever and classy when I have these on? Mom, we're gonna have the best looking cupboards in the world. And we actually don't have cupboards. We live in a house that was built in the 50s. We don't have a pantry. We don't have cupboards that we use for pantry storage. We use our cupboards for bowls and dishware and stuff like that.
The drawers.
And we have drawers. So what I've done is I put the labels on like this for the couple that are in the cupboards, but I also put the labels on the top. So when they're stacked up nicely in the drawers, I can see exactly what they are on the top too. So these are the most amazing things. Believe it or not, most kitchens take about 68 of these to do your whole kitchen. And it really is amazing. I've heard people say when they open up, they'll keep their crackers in something, one of the super ovals, the sheets of crackers. And when they open them up, they think they've actually gone bad because there's an aroma about them. And they haven't gone bad. It's like we're just not used to smelling fresh. We bring our stuff home, we put it in our pantries or cupboards in boxes that are not airtight. We let them sit there for years. And by the time we open up a saltine, it's like stale beyond belief. So we have to put it in our soup or something. But if you open it up after it's been stored in a Modular Mate, you can't believe the beautiful fresh smell you're going to get from it. And it's just further proof that what you're doing is worth the money. So you can stop the food waste, start storing your food longer, not throwing it out. Your baking is going to taste better. Your meal prep is going to be easier and better. And your shopping list is going to happen in mere seconds. I also want to point out real quick that the Modular Mates also come with spice containers. There's a small and a large. They're not always both available, but when they are, you can grab them quick. The really nice thing about these is they have the shaker side, like you expect, but if you want to put a teaspoon in, you don't have to take the whole seal off. There's also a side that's big enough, and guess what? The Tupperware teaspoon fits in there perfectly. I can't guarantee every teaspoon is because of the shape of them, but Tupperware teaspoon fits in there perfectly for measuring. So these are a really nice addition to your Modular Mates. And again, we put all of our spices in them. We're keeping them fresh, and we're not throwing things out anymore. So there's your Modular Mate tutorial. Give me a buzz if you have any questions at all, and watch for sales. There's always good sales coming up on the Modular Mates, at least twice a year. Okay, take care. Bye.